I went out looking for morning color and I got this, which lasted about 30 seconds. The forecast was for morning fog and it was there, but it sure didn't last long. Left behind some nice dew though. And I'm such a sucker for dewy spider webs. But it didn't take long for the sun to come out, and pretty soon it was shining on all the new crops. The birds were singing, the oil pumps were thumping away, and a little bit of breeze stirred what remaining fog there was. It was a damp morning from thunderstorms that had passed through the night before, but I couldn't help noticing that the crops seemed a little, sparse. My father was a grain buyer and he'd have a better idea of what was going on with this, but it looked dry to me. Grass around damp areas like where these mule deer are lying was pretty lush. But the barley around this little fox, it's kind of brown. I circled around to Badger Lake out by Lomond to have a look there. I found pelicans like this guy. And an island just offshore that was full of baby gulls. And things definitely didn't look dry down the road from there. This is irrigation country, not dryland country, and the canola especially was lush. I love that bright yellow color. Beyond there though, it's native prairie again, and this wetland is kind of like an oasis. There were a lot of black terns there, hovering and diving for little morsels, and then taking a rest on one of the nearby fence posts. The loudest bird, though, was a marsh wren. You'll have to look carefully to see him, but he's there. And there were ruddy ducks doing their silly little dance. But right next to the slough, bones. And I know these bones. I've been photographing this old cow skeleton for, 20 years or so. The bones are in pretty much the place where I first saw them, bleaching in the sun and eroding in the wind. It's interesting country here. The prairie is bone dry. The grass, which should be green at this time of year, is still brown. But right next to it, overflowing irrigation canals. And beside the canals, milkweed. The bugs really love this, especially the ants. But it is a contrasting country. Leafcutter bee shelters and canola, and then just little patches of green in the damp areas on the brown prairie. Yeah, without man-made rain, irrigation, this is pretty dry country. But like those dried out bones I know, it's beautiful. And I hope it always stays that way.